Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So today's video has been requested by Planning with Birdie. She wants to see me make some cards using the gorgeous Planners Anonymous Sunflowers and Sunshine Kit. So if you want to see how I made these two cards, then just stay tuned. Alright, so I have my kit and I have a piece of cardboard here. I just thought this brown sort of suited the colour scheme, I guess, of the kit. We're gonna start with one card and then I'm gonna sort of maybe think about doing another one. So we'll do one that's a bit more simple and then one that's a little bit more in depth, I guess you'll say. So first thing we're gonna do is just gonna grab our paper trimmer, but also grab a ruler and a pencil because I just want to measure out how big I want the card, how tall I want the card. Now whenever I'm making cards, I always make them to the size of the envelope that I have. So in this case, I do have another one of my craft envelopes hanging around. This one is 11.5 centimeters wide and it's 16 centimeters tall. So I'm gonna make the card 15 centimeters tall so that I've got that extra centimeter to kind of work with. So I'm just gonna mark out where my 15 is. And then because I trust my paper trimmer, I'm just gonna mark it just at the top. Cutting that down, and that's then going to give us the basic sort of shape. The really good thing is it also leaves us with one that's just a little bit bigger that's still going to fit in that envelope for the other side. Obviously not quite 15, but it was close. So then for the other measurement, so like I said, it's 11.5, so you want to make it 22, which is sort of your halfway point of 11. You know what I mean. I'm going to cut that one too with our trimmer. None of these have to be exact, they just have to be close. As long as you've gone a little bit too small, they're always going to fit in your envelope, so it'll be fine. So putting that off to the side, and then we're going to mark the 11, which is where our score line's going to go. The reason I mark it is because my scoreboard is actually in inches, not in centimeters. What I like to do is sort of line it up where is the closest, and that's sort of how I get my my score line. I find it gets me a better result more often. Just so happens this one's going to work. Any scoring tool will do. I just prefer using this Fiskars one rather than the knife sort of shaped one that comes in this with the scoreboard. I don't know why. Just always make sure you don't push too hard, because I have pushed a little too hard, but I have damaged that cardboard just a little bit, but that's okay. And then you've got your basic card shape, and it's going to fit, please, because it makes it look very silly when it doesn't fit. Fit in your card, in your envelope, sorry, reasonably well. It does fit, it's just this is a bad envelope. So, there we go. There we go. So she fits. Right, so this one's going to be our kind of more simple one. So to start off with, I'm going to move some things around so I've got some room. I'm going to kind of look at what I've got. So that would look gorgeous on the front there, just that little bit. This is what I mean. The kit can be used in so many different ways. It is so versatile like this. I'm just trying to find my die cuts. There they are, hiding from me. Sometimes these will come with actual like quotes and stuff that you can use, sometimes it won't. So I'm just having, I don't remember what I've used already, so I'm just going to have a quick look at what quotes I've got left. Flowers, flowers. Be your gorgeous blooming self. That one will work, but it won't work on this piece of paper just because it's a little bit too, it's already too big, so you don't want to sort of overwhelm it. Just jumping into the stickers. I can find where the top is, because this always has quotes as well. Be a sunflower, stand still and look for the light. Ride and be free. None of those just really sort of suit the card sentiment. So what I'm actually going to do, I got an idea. Okay, so I do want to use this sort of corner bit of the card. And the really good thing is I'm going to use this for my other side of the card, so I'm only using one bit, which is nice. So I know that's 11, so I'm going to, on this side, I'm going to measure out 10 because I want a 1 centimetre or half a centimetre kind of border around the edge. So just measuring that out. Getting in the trimmer again. I am really enjoying this trimmer, you guys. I think it's great. I was really worried that I wouldn't like it. I don't know why, but I just didn't think it was going to be my thing. But I am really enjoying it. You just got to remember to push really hard. Okay. And then we're just going to do the same thing at the top. So I'm just remembering how big that was, 15. So we make this 14. Again, you don't have to be 100% exact with this. Close enough is good enough with this one. You're not really going to notice it that much. And the best thing is your mates are just going to be happy that they've got a card from you, so it's not going to be, it's going to be fine. So I know that doesn't quite give the same effect as that whole big page, but I do still really love it. It just needs one of the quotes. So I reckon what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to stamp "Add a little sunshine to your day," but I just don't know where I want to put it. Sometimes it's just fun to grab some things and have a look and see what looks cool. I'm just scared of using the stamp and it not looking right. I'm going to stick this one down first. Now you could do this two different ways. You could either put it on foam tape, which is going to give it that little bit of an up. Because we're going to use foam tape in the second card I'm going to do, I'm not going to do that for this one. So I'm just grabbing some glue tape. I'm just going to mount this on the outside. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test the stamp before I actually do it. I don't know why, actually. I'm having a thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, I've got a piece of watercolour paper here, and I've also got my stamp. So I just want to do one thing before I do what I think I'm going to do. I just want to see what this stamp looks like actually stamped out. So I'm just grabbing my stamp block. I have two colours of ink here. I have black and I do have sepia, and I'm just debating what colour I want to use. I think the sepia one's going to look better with the scheme I'm going for here. So what I want to do is just grabbing a little bit of masking tape, and I'm just going to mask off on this bit of paper just a little area. We're just going to play a little bit with my tombos. So I'm just masking it off so that the water doesn't go everywhere. It's just a little trick that I've been playing with. Doesn't matter so much on the other side because it doesn't matter if it goes everywhere over here. So I'm just grabbing my tombos and I'm just taking my colours from here. So we're going to get a little bit of a yellow, and I'm going to put a little bit of orange in because there's a little bit of orange down here. And if you saw my galaxy card, you're kind of going to get the hint of what I'm doing here. It's really not that complicated. But I'll link the galaxy card video down below. I'm just playing with two colours instead of the 6 or so I played with before. You could put other colours in here if you wanted to. And then when I did it before, I did it with my watercolour pencils, but I have been playing, watercolour pen, sorry, but I have been playing with using just a paintbrush. And it seems to be working pretty well as well. So I'm going to go with that. I'm putting down a lot of water first, and then just kind of messing this all together. I could be here playing with this forever, so I'm going to stop there. So then what you need to do is either dry it or let it dry. Because I'm doing this for you guys, I'm going to do this with a hairdryer, so I'm going to do this really, really quickly, and I'm going to cut to it. So we're back in just a sec. Alright, so that's dry. So then we're going to grab our stamp block, and we're going to do it on the sepia because I think that gives a better result. Loading that up, and I really love the way the water's sort of fallen there. So I'm just going to put it right in the middle there. Woohoo! And then we're going to cut it out so that it looks like, it's going to look like a die cut. It's just going to add a little bit more something to it than it could have if we did it the other way. I'm just grabbing my scissors. Cleaning up my mess so I don't end up with ink all over me. Now when it comes to cutting this out, you can cut it out any way you like. You could leave it square if you wanted. I'm going to fussy cut it just because I want to. And I'm going to add a little bit something extra to it as well. Alright, so we've got our little quote. And then all I'm going to do, let's shut my ingredients first. Just grabbing a dark brown colour, the closest one to sepia that I have. And just around the edges, I'm just colouring away the white. Because we're going to mount this up on some foam tape so it's got a bit of depth to it. So I just don't want to see the white. And grab some foam tape. I had to buy new foam tape today because I ran out of my Express It stuff. So this is J Burrow's one from Officeworks. I will link it down below. I haven't tried it before, so I don't know if it's going to be any good. I assume foam tape is foam tape, but I could be proven wrong. So just going to put that at the top. Probably could have gone a little bit more yellow than orange there, but I do like the effect. Then on the inside, it's up to you whether you want to put like a something to be able to write on the top of. Like you could put this in the middle, and that way you could write if you wanted to. The difficulty, I guess, with these kind of cards, like with dark cardboard cards, is that you don't really get, you need like a lighter pen to write in. Because I have so many coloured pens, it really isn't a big issue for me. But if you don't have as many light colour pens like silver or white, you might want to mount something on the inside here so that you do have something to write on. Something like that actually would look kind of cool, actually. Bugger it, let's just do that. Kind of like just a smaller area in the middle. I wish I could get my words out. Okay. I actually kind of like that. It's kind of now stepping on the toes of the thing I was going to do, but oh well, it'll be fine. So that's the first card. Really, really simple, really, really easy. Nothing too complicated there. This is something you could do without. You don't have to do the extra little bit with the quote. You could stamp straight onto it. I just felt like it needed a little bit more orange. That was my thought though. So for the second one, we're going to do very similar in the way that I'm going to already have a board, not a board, a card the same size. Exactly the same as the other one. All we're going to do though is we're going to turn this into a bit of a shaker card, because I know shakers are so much fun to use, and especially when you've got gorgeous shakers like these ones. So what I'm going to do is measure out 2 centimeters each side, maybe 1.5. I'm just doing these in really light lines because I don't want to like mark the thing too much, mark the cardboard too much in case I don't cut this out as straight as I'd like. Yes, you could do the inside as well, but I want to do the outside. It just jumped into my head and I'm like, I really should have done the inside, but I want to do the outside. Alright, so once that's all marked out, you just want to grab yourself a craft knife. Any craft knife will do. You just want to cut this out. So like I said, I'm going to do mine just a little bit bigger or smaller, whichever way you want to look at it. I really suck at doing this. I'm not very good at it at all, but I'm going to give it a shot. You don't have to be perfect with any of this. You can so make some mistakes and it's okay. A little insert bit. Then just with your eraser, just rub out gently all the lines. Now the reason I say gently is because these cardboards, all cardboards, have a tendency to lose their colour when you rub on them just a little bit. So I'm just rubbing lightly just to get rid of the pencil marks, but not to lose any of the colour. So to actually make the little shaker, so it's going to be all shaker on the inside, I'm going to mount this on the inside, and then we're going to put the shaker in between. So this is the, when I say the easy part, so you just want to measure out how much you need. So it needs to be not exactly the same size here, but pretty close. So I'm going to do 15 again. So I lost my little mark there, but I got it back. So we're going to have foam tape all around the outside here. We are going to do, oh no, that should be, no, just a little bit thinner. Just a tinsy bit. So I'm going to put foam tape all around the outside. So this one you are going to need a bit of tape, because you are going to have to cover the whole outside. This is also making how our shaker bits don't fall out, so it needs to be a fully enclosed kind of square. So I like doing that by cutting a little bit too much and then cutting off the excess, because that way you know you've got the right amount. Okay, Ryan's just pointed something out to me. I forgot to put the plastic down first. Sometimes we all have moments. Hi, Ryan. What would I do without him, huh? So this is actually permanent foam tape, so I'm being really careful when I pull this off. It's not going to do any damage, as in it doesn't matter if I don't pull this off without hurting the cardboard, but I don't want to rip the card because I have gone to all the effort. Whoops, and she rips the card. Alright, let's try that again. So cover all the outside up, all the frame up. We're going to call it the frame from now on. Cover that all up with some tape, and then you just need to get some plastic. Any kind of sort of plastic will do. I have some old, not really old, but just scrapbook kind of plastic. I do try not to use them because sometimes they get a bit damaged, but it's okay. As in, these ones have been sitting in my drawer for a little bit, so they're a little bit bumped and bruised, but you shouldn't notice it too much. So just cutting off roughly how much you need. You can always cut off the excess. Placing that on there. It's not going to stick because I'm not pushing it down hard enough. Just marking it where I need to cut. The really good thing about this bit of plastic in particular is that it doesn't need to be straight. It doesn't need to be a nice cut because you're never going to see it. It just needs to be not too wonky. So that's the only thing I'm worried about here. We all know my cutting skills aren't the best, so let's just keep our fingers crossed. Ha-ha! So placing that down, I actually have cut not so great there. Alright. We all know my blue dots are a little bit more repositionable. Great. And if there is any excess, just cut that off. Giving that a good rub. Two reasons. Number one, to make sure it's stuck. Number two, to get rid of any excess adhesive. And then take two with the foam tape. Let's try that again, shall we? your backing tape, and you want to sprinkle in some of your sequins or whatever you're using. In this case it is the sequins. Don't put too much, that's my only advice. Sometimes you want to put a bunch in there, but you don't end up with that same shake. And then trying to find, what did I do with it? I was going to use that little quote, but I don't know what I did with it. I'm going to chuck that quote in there as well. Yeah, that way. Putting that in there. And then I'm going to put a little card bit. The best thing is this is going to cover up everything we just did. So if you didn't cut it particularly nicely, or if it was a little messy, this is kind of going to save us. I'm going to shut her up. And then when you do this, it looks so cute! That actually does look awesome. I'm actually a little bit more impressed with that than I thought I would be. So it is a little bit, the foam tape is a little sticky on the edges, not a lot, and that stick will stop. So you sometimes may get a couple of these stuck on the bottom, but the good thing is it's not enough to really stress it out. But I really love the way that's sitting there. The good thing is, and I don't quite know why, whoops, but the Be Your Gorgeous Blooming Self is almost stuck in the middle there, and then all the shaker bits are moving around the outside. That's kind of cool. Just the way sometimes things work. So that is two little, I was going to say quick ways that you can make cards using the Sunflowers and Sunshine Kit from Planners Anonymous. The best thing is all of these kits are built to be able to be used as not just for your planners. You can use them to make cards. You can use them to decorate your presents. You can use them to do basically anything. That's what my favourite thing about them is. They're as limitless as your imagination is. So go crazy, try some things out, and see what you can create. There's no right or wrong way to use these kits, and they always look gorgeous no matter what you do. So that is it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Thank you very much to Playing with Birdies for suggesting it. I do love when you guys give me suggestions on videos you'd like to see here on my channel. So if you do want to suggest something, please leave it in the comments down below, or you can find me on any of my social medias. They're all down below as well. I hope you guys have an absolutely awesome weekend, and I'll see you again for decoration on Monday. Sending you lots of huggles. Bye!